Most of the man stories, I'm a big men's ministry guy here, so this is no digging on my own passion. But let's get the story straight. There's a lot of godly dudes in the stories that act ungodly. A lot of ungodly women who act godly. You notice that?
Yeah.
Rahab, Jael, Ruth, well, Deborah and Hannah are godly women, so it's not. I'm not saying it's across the board, but there's all these women that there's no bad stories connected to them. They're doing what they're supposed to do. Whatever their background, they're following the Lord. But the men's stories are really rough. You get guys that are like Gideon, half and half kind of guys, right? Really strong and following God in one, and then they take the victory and turn it into an idol and have everybody worship it. Samson, it's like, what's the deal? You got the Spirit coming on you, but then in the next breath, you're going to prostitutes at, Gaza. I mean, you got Saul. The Spirit comes upon you, he anoints you, he calls you, he picks you, and then you can't obey the Lord through any of your storyline. Most of it. Us dudes got some business to do with the Lord in our lives. This issue of compromise in men, we've got to get a hold of our hearts and our lives, gentlemen. And these stories are provoking us. Not that all people don't have to deal with this, but there's something in God's story that pushes on men to lead and to be who God's called you to be, and the temptation to be a compromiser who in one moment is serving in the temple of God, and the next moment you're with the women that are in a way that's inappropriate. That can't be our picture. As I woke up this morning, that was the picture I had of God's priests, which we're all priests, right? We just read that in the New Testament. We're priests. Don't be a priest of compromise. Let God consecrate your heart. Be a man who's committed to the covenant, to the law of God, to the righteousness and holiness of God, and turn your back on compromise. Let the faith of your wives and other women and the obedience around you that's often demonstrated by the ladies, let that not be something that you fight against, but inspire you to rise up to and even beyond if God so willed. Right? Be the man that God wants you to be.